welcome to Squad, your favorite source for everything esports and gaming. I'm Camille, and tonight, here's the breakdown. Marissa and Lisa are going head-to-head in Unmuted, giving us their opinions on all the topics we can't stop talking about. Then in Esports in 30, Marissa and Zurich are talking to GuyBlaze all about gears. But first, it's Friday, so you know what that means. Time to take a look at Plays of the Week.
Exceptional D.Va play. The exception is you actually notice the D.Va play.
What's going on here? That's guard. No, don't take down your team. You got to take down the opponent's guard.
The little roll. You had to reload. You have to roll to reload right there. Gets it done. Takes off the jersey.
And that should have been a goal there for G2. We actually saw Justin bomb Fireburner on accident, and that's why Fireburner completely missed the hit on that one. And Garrett! Wow. Garrett G. This was a sensational play. Look at Garrett getting his flip reset, waiting till the end, immediately jumping and pushing it.
Oh my God, Rhea in a good position here to pressure with this Tracer soon, trying to duck out.
Unbelievable!
Just before that, getting the shot on Godspeed. 3 now for Soon.
Trying to end the game in one read. Very much so. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the up air read. Not quite, though. Inhale.
He's going to up tilt. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
he goes for it.
That's a thing.
Getting that stun very quickly over Nephew, but it's not going to be it. We've seen it happen multiple times. Crouch Fear's activation. Here we go. Don't count out the president. He's always in the running.
Oh, they're staying like it. That could have been a pro kick. That's going to give him meaty on the dash.
And you saw the counter hit? The V reversal?
Catches the V reversal. Oh, the six.
He catches low.
Oh, the counter hit. Oh, my God.
If he hits a command grab, it's over.
Walks back, you said it itself. She cannot do that versus Cammy. Overhead whips. Jab, anything. He does it.
Nephew.
It's still holding on to Grace, but holding grab so long in this matchup.
A lot in the series, yeah, completely. He's gonna use it now. He heard us, man. All right, self-destruct's coming in. Big Michelle! 4K with that Diva bomb.
Into the defensive half of ARG.
So we can see, or let's see, excuse me, if ARG can make the adjustments. Veloce trying to get an early goal again in the first 9 seconds. It's Flame who somehow goes past everyone. He gets a flip reset and carries it past the defenders. Does a 360 just for fun.
Careful, and also needs to be careful for his face because Dezo has that sniper. That's nice. He's looking right at him.
Angle.
He's gonna shoot him in the face.
It was a curious angle. Does he have the opportunity to get that headshot? Now Dezo again. 1, 2, 3.
That's why they put that gun there.
Whitworth montage there, surprising. He's in there, Flame. Uh-oh. Down there. Yeah, he knows going for down there. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and there it is.
Jesus.
Tee it up.
Why?
Knock it out of the park.
There's a shatter here. Dallas going to try to engage.
Shatter's really going to have to pop. They see OG all over onto the side. He's going to be taken down now with the hammer. Going to be trouble with the big one. Tail finds so many members. Priest coming up with double kill. No, going to be popped out. They finally broke it through on the back of the Shatter. They give a chuckle at OG and take him out.
Leading the effort, and a good save there by Chicago as well.
Needed to see them step up. Justin almost making the entire team miss. He does it, and he scores. Justin is incredible.
He's a one-man team right now. Look at this. Goes by one, fakes out another, 50-50. Oh, Chicago, you're back for more? Well, how do you like that?
Hot topics, hot tweets, and the spiciest memes. I'm Marissa Roberto.
And I'm Lisa Dwan. Producer Tyler has 2 minutes on the board and topics at the bottom of your screen. One of us may get out of line or just need to shut up for about 30 seconds, and that's when this trusty mute button comes into play.
Of course, we love it when chat calls us out, so don't be shy. We can take it. Let's get to our first story here. We're going to kick it off with one of the biggest stories before the weekend by finding out just how much money streamers can make on Twitch. Are your ears percolating? During this latest broadcast, variety streamer Rectful showed viewers just how much money he could earn via Twitch's bounty board. If he streamed an hour of League of Legends, he would be paid over $8,000 US. Another 2 offers would give him $4,000 just by watching a Street Fighter League or playing Final Fantasy XIV on his channel. Rectful pointed out that you don't need a manager or pre-existing sponsorship to take a bounty. All you have to do is accept and start streaming. First off, that seems like a lot of cashish. And secondly, do you think this is the reason why there's so many esports pros who've actually just left the actual professional side of playing esports and just moved to the streaming side?
Oh, 100%. Like even before this bounty new thing came into play, it was already more profitable to just stream.
Yeah.
Pro playing is honestly, I know the people who are really competitive and they want the glory. It's not about the money. It's, that's a new version. It's not about the money for pro players. Like they want the glory, they want to just win. But this is a whole different like ball game now. And I would do a lot more for a lot less. Like
what does that mean?
The point is, that's a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
I want to know how much would it take for me to pay you to stream a game of my choosing?
First start doing ASMR, or does it have to be, or does it have to be like a specific game? Like it has to be a game to actually make money off of. Like these are bounties that need to actually come from people.
Well, because they have the money to spend.
Exactly.
But if I have a lot of cash here and I want to pay you for ASMR stream, how much will you do it for?
$1 million. I don't know. ASMR to me still seems very strange and makes me feel a little uneasy, like a little weird. I'm not sure what people are doing on the other side of the screen, like listening. I don't know. I don't really get it.
You can't control that. That's not the point. You don't need to worry about what they're doing on their side. It's more about why.
I do. Because
what do you think they're doing right now while watching this?
Hopefully listening attentively and joining us in chat and telling us all the things that they would
one
play
hand.
for money. I do want to know what you guys would do, like how much money it would take for you to just drop what you're doing now to actually just stream full time. It is quite difficult though because you have to still build that following.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing in the world, but I get why all these pro athletes, pro e-athletes, e-gamers, or whatever you want to call them. I don't want to.
E-athletes, get out of here.
Just people.
Everyone has rage muted you there.
Everybody has like their tag that they want to put on these boys that play games and these ladies that play games professionally. I understand why they're dropping off of all that to just stream full time when they already have the audience, they have the dough. They're not beholden to anybody but themselves. I mean, it is a hard life though, streaming all the time because you have to constantly be streaming. So it's just a hard give and take, but it's good money.
That's true.
It can
Guys in chat, let us know what your price is because I want to know. Moving on to more money topics. During what was otherwise a routine financial report yesterday, Activision confirmed that it had sold the first 5 city spots for the upcoming franchise Call of Duty World League. Spots for Atlanta, Dallas, New York, Paris, and Toronto have all been sold. Each spot reportedly cost $25 million US, and there's no date announced yet for the start of the league. So that's a lot of money once again. But do you think it's a little premature to start announcing like all these spots when we don't even know what the league is?
No. Why do you think they're announcing this right now? Any guesses, children? Any guesses as to why this would be announced right now? Money. They're trying to just put it out there so there's other investors looking at it too, like what cities are still available, what orgs are still available to partner with. This is all a money play, people. Remember that. Just look at it this way. I feel like COD, when I tweeted about it yesterday, I had some people saying this is going to be bad for COD. Honestly, and I just responded back like, why? Explain. I don't understand why. Well, because these orgs, because it's going to a city now, right? So they're no longer the org. So Optic will still want to be Optic, was the example given to me. I'm like, yeah, but Splice is still Splice, and we know that Splice is still Splice, and Toronto Defiant still operates as Toronto Defiant. We know that it's co-owned by Splice. That will still be the case for all these teams. Optic will still be Optic. We'll know that they're Optic, but they will just have a city attached to them. We'll still all know they're Optic players if they get picked up by a certain city.
Does Optic even have an issue with this? Because Optic technically owns the Houston Outlaws, right?
Exactly.
In Overwatch. So they're cool with the city-based system, guys. This is just people projecting their own like fears onto, I guess, this whole league thing. What I find interesting is first like the $25 million spot. So we know in other leagues, like League of Legends for the NALCS, I believe when they first franchised, it was like 10 million buy-in. And then Overwatch now season 2, it was between 30 million and 60 million. So we're seeing all these numbers getting thrown around, and COD, I guess, is right in that middle spot. And what's really interesting is that all the people who so far bought a COD spot, they're involved in Overwatch League as well, right? Like 100. I think all 5 of them.
All 5 of them are already in Overwatch League.
So like, are these Overwatch, or I guess teams or orgs just like picking up franchise spots everywhere? Maybe because they're leaving Overwatch?
No, definitely not. No, that you're just trying to start something that isn't there. No, what they're doing is they're seeing the money that they're making and seeing all the investors that are coming on board. Think about all the people that have money, all the companies that have money that have been wanting to invest in esports forever. They're doing it now, and they're going to do it because they have these big names already with money asking them to come on board. And when you invest money, you want to see that other people that are investing have money too. So this is just going to be all kinds of dough all around for COD.
I wish I had that much money.
Rip-a-dip. This week, Immortals raised $30 million in funding. That's a lot of money, and according to a new report from ESPN, we may know the reason why Immortals needs all that cash money. Apparently, Immortals is in talks with Infinite Sports and Entertainment, who own Optic Games, Gaming to purchase Optic's LCS spot. Immortals was a member of the LCS before it franchised, and their application to join the franchise league was declined due to concerns over the organization's financial state. So, Lisa, Immortals coming back to LCS, is that a smart move?
I actually have a really embarrassing story to tell about this.
Oh, geez.
All right, guys, ready? Story time with Lisa. So last year, I wanted to set up an interview with the Immortals team.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I totally forgot that they didn't get into a franchised LCS spot. So last year when I sent an email, I was like, hey guys, I'm Lisa. Can I interview your League of Legends team?
That's what she sounds like when she's
typing. That's my email voice. Not remembering that they didn't make franchise. So they didn't have a League of Legends team. And I emailed Noah, I emailed everyone. I'm like, why didn't they respond? Like, I didn't get it.
Shoot.
So you guys, when you guys send an email, make sure to do your double check and, you know.
Yeah, she's normally a quality producer outside of that one email.
Yeah.
Mistakes happen.
And some others that I don't want to talk about.
This is obviously a big deal for this org 100, but maybe for LCS?
Oh, okay. So context for Immortals, when they first entered LCS, they were so much fun to watch. They had like a power team, like Hooney, Rainover, Pole Belter, Wild Turtle, our boy Wild Turtle, Adrian. They went undefeated for like 6 weeks in their first season. They finished in the top 3 like consistently. They were so good. Yeah. So it was so sad to see that they didn't get the franchise spot. Yeah. So the fact that there's a chance that they might be coming back, Noah, who's the founder, he's really smart. He's done great things in esports in general with like CSGO as well. So like having these people back in LCS, fantastic. Also, the fact that they're buying Optic's spot, which is probably a good idea because Optic has been doing not that good.
Right, but then there's the concern of also not doing well, right? Because they raise this money and they're getting this spot, they're going to buy this spot, but then that means they have to show up. Like they've also got to make their investors happy, and that's going to be a tough thing to do.
Noah's really smart with this. I think he's good at creating a successful team. So it's better that they are in the scene than Optic, who have been struggling, pulling like 7th place like 2 seasons in a row. You know, it's time to let's get some other talent and better orgs in here. All right?
Okay,
so I think it's a good idea, guys.
Lisa's available as jungler.
No, I can't play jungle. Earlier this week, the first trailer for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was released, and the internet responded with a mix of horror, confusion, and plenty of human teeth frowns. The reaction to Sonic's design in particular was really negative. As a result, the film's director, Jeff Fowler, said that Sonic's design will be changed in response to the criticism. But there's just one problem. The movie comes out in 6 months, which means that either it's too late to change anything, or that there's going to be a lot of visual effects artists are going to have to like work overtime for half a year.
Yeah.
So Marissa, do you think it's a good call for, I guess, Jeff to come out and be like, you know what, we're going to change everything now?
Okay, should we do conspiracy theory time?
Yes.
Because Jordan, one of our lovely camera operators who's in the room right now, he's like, do you guys think that maybe they had this plan the whole time and they already had their Sonic lined up, but then they just put this other one out there because they knew everyone would be mad, and then everyone's talking about it now, and now we kind of like, we're all excited about what's going to happen next? Could be, possibly. You never know these kind of tactics and marketing schemes that come into play now with all these things, right? Because they're trying to get everyone's attention. So what better way to get everyone's attention than to piss them off?
There's that line, you know, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
Do you believe in that?
I don't know. Like, it's hard to say because, like, just looking at Sonic and the way he was, I understand why they maybe created him in that way, because they wanted to attract children to the movies.
That thing is repelling children. As a child, I would not want to come close to that thing.
But we don't know, right? Because maybe if no one has ever grown up with Sonic and they don't actually know that he has more of a kind of a mean look to him, like he has always a sly look on his face, and he's got these like eyebrows, these eyes that go back, right? Yeah. And he also doesn't have human freaking teeth. I think that was like the main issue with it. I heard people talking on like daytime talk shows, like people that don't play video games at all, talking about it, because I'm telling you, everybody's talking about this right now, which is good for them.
100% great meme. A great meme came out of this. I think that also the issue was like the body ratio. They made him look so human. Like he had a human torso, legs, and then I saw someone actually created online like a new version, like someone actually created their own version of him, and he looked so much better. That looked real to the character's design. You know, the legs are extra long because that's his character. Fuzzy body, whatever. Like, stick true to the original source, guys.
For sure. But people, I guess, also anything, like, he was even sitting in the car in that one point in the trailer, and people were like, why is he in a car when he could run? It's like,
maybe he doesn't want to run, guys.
It's like, why can't he just sit for a minute?
He has hands, he can drive. Gosh, people are so annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time to check out what the streamers have been up to on Clip It. Yesterday at the PUBG Europe League Kickoff Cup, viewers were treated with a surprise when Pro A Beautiful Death proposed to his semi-pro girlfriend, Rita. Let's take a look.
Anything else?
Actually, I want to say one more thing. To Rita, I don't think she's gonna need a translating for what I'm gonna say. I hope she understands.
Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful death, and Rita, a big congratulations. Amazing, thank you so much. Congratulations.
That was so, okay, Marissa.
No.
What do you feel? How do you feel about public proposals
Listen,
like that?
I love love. I love when people are in love. I love when, you know, people can show off their love in a way like this. But I straight up told my husband, like before obviously we got married, if he ever proposed to me in public in such a way, I would just walk away. Because one, I love when there's proposals like publicly and the girl says no. I think they're so freaking funny. Like if you just watch a compilation.
Cue the music, guys.
What?
No, we didn't play anything like that.
No, I don't. Like, they're kind of cringe. Like I hate seeing proposals at baseball games or like sporting events. I just think like they're so played. But we've never seen anything like this before on an esports stage, so that's really cute.
To that caliber.
I wish them
to
well.
that caliber.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for them and their love. Like it's super sweet. Just for me, like personally, like I just don't. I wouldn't want that for myself. But as long as she's cool with it, that's fine.
It's a little cheesy, but I think she was really in. Like she was in on that because she didn't seem surprised, and it was kind of like very quiet. Like there was no reaction from her at all.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because it is again, you're on the spot. It's like, what are you?
Yeah, you got to pressure people into marrying.
And then you feel bad because like, the person you love is on their knees in front of you, in front of all these people. Like, okay, like just get up. I love you too, and let's get this over with.
If you're gonna do a public proposal, you got to be confident that she's gonna say yes. That's
no, don't. I want
there.
if you're gonna be public. No, I like more public proposals of when people are recording and you're not sure if she's gonna say yes.
This
do it
isn't like
then,
a gambling.
because that's good content.
Oh my God.
Think about the content, Lisa. Our next clip comes from official Andy Pyro, who is streaming while driving and experiences even more dangerous behavior from a fan.
That is a viewer. What? That is a viewer. I'm at the party on a truck night with a punk mic. We're trying to be sorry. Betty and Gotti like Hobby Causey. Sloppy, not me, cause sweet rocks, beach spot.
All right, children, do not stream snipe and drive, okay? That is super dangerous. It looked like the roads were wet there too. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, that was that was pretty dangerous.
Dangerous.
I know that's probably against the law to stream because that's distracted driving. If I can't even eat a sandwich or drink my coffee technically while driving, that's definitely illegal.
I know. We've had a couple clips now where people are like streaming, like they do with the IRL streams while driving. Obviously, I really salted on the other guy the other day, but but I just don't think like it's fine. They need content. They also need to live their lives, and maybe he's going somewhere and doing something, or is that like also content? Like just be in my car, like let me sing to this music, and you're just with me now. I don't know.
I'm guilty
I feel
of
like
that.
you would do that. You would do that.
Literally, if you guys follow us on social media, literally just the other day after work, I went into my car and I started jamming to some like really embarrassing tunes. So like, this would be kind of funny to post. So I was like going at it, and then I look over behind me and I see Tyler in his car just watching me, and I was just like, I froze in my spot. I'm just like, oh my God. And this is why you shouldn't stream in real life, because this is freaking embarrassing. Yeah. And you should always check your surroundings.
Yeah, and it kind of looked like he had a Twitch chat going as well. Like he had some kind of screen with the chat going as well. That's straight up dangerous.
But
although Andy Pyro's
what are the chances that you're literally just streaming and a viewer pulls up beside you, watching you while they're driving while you're driving? That's just Inception streaming.
No, yeah, I don't like that. Just don't stream, snipe, and drive. Just
safety first.
Safety first, because then if something bad happens, it's caught on camera. And
that's just content.
You going to jail, but it's good content for us. We'll sip the tea. It's really the best time of day where we scroll the Twitters to bring you all the things the pros bless us with on their timeline, and just love reading tweets that contain little real talk about life, you know, and of course food. Hearthstone and Offline TV castmate Disguised Toast, well, he's got us. He says, I stopped using Uber Eats since my delivery drivers kept stealing my food. Now I'm watching my Postmates courier drive away with my Chipotle. It's a sign to stop ordering food and learn how to cook. I even got extra guacamole. Right? Because he's cooking at home so he can make all the guacamole he wants and doesn't have to pay for it. Well, not pay extra for it. He still paid for the avocados.
There's so many questions with this.
What?
First of all,
What?
you know the saying, if the stink follows you, then you should probably check your own foot. You know what I mean?
Yo, never heard that before.
I just made up something.
Frankly,
no, it's like if he keeps getting his food stolen, first of all, then maybe he's just not opening the door fast enough. And they're not first of all, no Uber driver's gonna try to steal your food. Then you literally have their car. You have their name. You have everything. Like, they're not trying to rob you. They're not gonna get away with this.
No, Lisa, they do get away with it though,
they
because
don't.
they could say they came to the door, they knocked, nobody answers. Like, there's all kinds of excuses they can make. Uber drivers also, could just go in and steal a couple fries too that you ordered from wherever the hell. It does happen.
Why would you tell me this? I order all the time.
Exactly. No, listen, I do too, and we have to just be a little more careful. And also, he's right. Like, we should definitely cook for ourselves. We should go grocery shopping and cook. Think of all the money we spend on these delivery services.
Okay,
seriously.
Mom. This is enough. I get this enough from everyone, including Nick in the back and everyone, the producers. Okay,
oh my God, Nick full on is the worst. If I walk in with just Starbucks in the morning, he's like, Marissa,
you know how much that costs?
Yeah.
You know how much you're spending monthly?
I know. He's like paying for breakfast.
Get off my back, guys. I don't want to cook. Okay, leave me with my instant noodle cup. All right. The next one comes right from the NBA 2K stage. Commentator Jeff Eisenband tweets, Jeff, can they get someone to guard me? Mama, I'm that man literally talking to me while Blazers Gaming blows out Knicks Gaming. Great cameo, by the way, from One Wild Walnut.
I love his name.
Jeff, can I get somebody to guard me? Get somebody to guard me. Hey, go, man. Hey, go, I feel bad, baby.
That subtle look that Walnut gave Jeff was priceless. That's honestly so good. Okay, so that was some pretty savage trash talk.
It was, yeah.
How are you feeling about that one?
No, I do. Listen, I love all kinds of trash talk, especially when it's not too mean, right? We got to keep it. Just don't use anything derogatory. Don't insult anyone's race, any of that kind of stuff, because that's where we go wrong. But any kind of trash talk that sets somebody off their game always works, especially now, because we're going to talk gears later, of course, with Zurich and esports in 30. There's always trash talk there, but in NBA 2K League, they have it as well, and it does add to the overall vibe of the experience, and I think we need more of that. We need more of it in NBA 2K League.
Good. So seeing Walnut's reaction made me think, did he think his teammate went too far with that? Because he kind of did the, should I stop nervous? Do you think as a teammate, maybe we have kind of the obligation? If you pop off too hard, it's my job to be like, yo, Marissa, chill.
No, because I like if you were to pop off, I would do the same thing. Like, I would let you have your moment, right? And I also give. You have to give a little gym look to the camera, like office gym look to the camera. For sure, yeah, always. You always gotta give a little look like I'm in on this or I'm not, but let people know without saying words. So I thought that was perfect.
All right.
Yeah, our last profound thought comes from G2 Esports and its CEO Ocelot, who took to Twitter to offer some simple advice. How to succeed in esports. 1. Buy the G2 MSI icon. 2. Win everything. 3. Eat cake. 4. Keep away from Carlos's cake. Buy yours today in a League of Legends shop. Okay, Lisa, I'm lost. Can you explain?
When you win as much as G2, you don't have to make sense at all. That was an interesting marketing strat by G2 to sell MSI icons.
Okay.
I don't know how effective it was. It did make me think.
That's all it was for? It was icons?
Yes. Well, that's how they get their money.
Okay.
Come on. That's how the little in-game stuff you gotta buy, microtransactions. You know how it is.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
So you're not impressed with their marketing strategy. So who impresses you in terms of esports teams?
Recently, it's been a lot from the Overwatch League, especially Dallas Fuel. I just love their little cartoons. Like how adorable. Little cartoons where they definitely play into their sponsorship. I think it's Jack in the Box. We don't have it in Canada, but just like the big guy with the white head, cone hat. It's just like he's a part of the skits, right?
Yeah.
Which makes it so fun. I just feel like they're really placating to their audience, but also to their sponsors. Like, it's kind of perfect. Just way to make that dough.
That's true. My favorite, I think, is 100 Thieves. If you see any of their commercials, especially for the Call of Duty team, they are so good at making funny skits and getting the whole team in on it. They're like acting. They're like wannabe actors.
I guess, yeah.
And it freaking kills. It's so good.
Yeah, but if you're talking Call of Duty, I feel like E United still has the best social media presence and their way of marketing their team. team. They're still number
Community
one to me in
involvement's
COD.
really good.
Absolutely. Okay, we need to move on because if you like fire, let's keep it going with some crowd control. This is where we showcase some of the creative, funny, or dank things the community has been making or sharing. So, we here at Squad love a good mod. So, courtesy of Zuli the Witch, let me introduce you to Shrek Hero.
Shrek Hero.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace. Doubt in my mind. I'm in love.
What? Okay, so yeah, obviously that was Sekiro. Somebody modded Shrek to appear in the game as one of the big bosses.
That was terrifying.
Frightening. Yeah.
That was so scary.
I can't. Yeah, I was not anticipating that at all. I love that. Like some people don't know, but like we don't actually know what we're gonna see before we see. So it's like a very visceral reaction. Like why? Okay, no, it works. I'm into it. So which game would you like to kind of see Shrek make an appearance in? Now that's the big question.
Well, I'm playing Pokemon right now, so imagine if I was like going through the bush and all of a sudden, bam, a wild Shrek appears. That would terrify me, first of all. But it's okay because I start with a fire type, and ogres are scared of fire, right?
Smart.
Smart. I'm a really good Pokemon trainer, guys.
Okay, nobody asked you about that.
What?
Just move on.
You did ask me. All right, moving on. Here's a clip that may interest those who are into video game development, posted by Fisco onto Reddit. Here's something you may not have realized while playing an open world game.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see that? So as you can see, as the character moves around, only the world in front of them, like in front of the player's perspective, appears. So this is a concept called occlusion culling, which is a feature that disables rendering of objects when they're not currently seen by the camera.
Oh.
So you think the world exists, the whole world exists while you're playing the game, but no, they just literally build the world as you're walking through it.
Yo, that's cool.
Which is brilliant, right? That's probably some people don't really think about that stuff.
I mean, I definitely didn't.
You guys, you can learn something on the show too.
I love that we teach.
Right?
I love learning. It's great to learn because knowledge is power. Listen, moving on to our very last post, we have to talk about a new phenomenon. Hey, remember Bowsette? Well, move over because there's a new lady in town. It's not me. Let me introduce you to Bowsette.
Oh,
look at this.
Fair lady.
Okay, you know what? She looks pretty good. Also dubbed as Queen of Bowsette. This was created by Doki Nana on Twitter and is just one of the many pieces of art based off of Luigi's Mansion character, King Boo, and that was created by the community. So,
that's really
I mean, I just love the creativity of these communities. Like, you can get into a deep well of things if you find them on Reddit, Tumblr, like all that stuff. I just love how there's so many different ranges of things, from like really gross looking ones, like the ones that Brody always shows, to like the super cute, friendly family versions, especially with the Boozette, because there's some NSFW stuff.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about this, so I Googled it.
Oh, no,
might
you did
be
not.
a mistake at work. Should have known. Someone actually, I saw this picture. Someone actually took a very graphic image of Queen Boozette and put it on his car. So like the graphic is printed on his car. So he's like rolling up to Costco or wherever he grocery shops with a very revealing Queen Boozette on his car.
Okay, first of all, a guy with Queen Boozette on his car is not shopping at Costco. Okay, that's for families. He's shopping somewhere else. Okay?
That's right. Leaving you guys on that note, that's it for Unmuted. Remember that you can always hit us up on our socials just to say hi or send us things to react to. Someone right now type in !socials in chat so you can see all our channels. Have a fantastic weekend and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, here's a hold up. He subscribed earlier and he didn't get the uniform.
Okay, all right,
Did you get the
all
friends
right.
reference?
What? Yeah, just
Oh,
okay. Niece, I'm sorry. I will do a. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna.
Place got crowded.
Don't hurt yourself. I don't know what I should do.
You're twerking?
You're scaring me.
Yourself
You're
before
scaring
you wreck
me. You're
yourself.
scaring me.
This is actually terrifying now. This is getting more.
I'm doing it for Mies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he subscribed. Mies, it's turning. Hey guys, remember that you could also subscribe and show some love to us so then you get all the good emotes like that one I just did. But enough of that, because in a bit in Esports in 30, Marissa and Zerk are going to be talking to GuyBlaze about the Boston Open. But first, let me get you caught up on everything that you need to know in Reported. The next CSGO major is over 3 months out, but that's not stopping Valve from announcing the dates for the next 4 majors. That's right, mark it down on your calendars because we now know when all the majors till the end of 2021 will be held. The first major of 2020 will take place from May 11th to the 24th, while the second will run from November 1st to the 14th. In 2021, the first major will be held in May from the 10th to the 23rd, followed by the second from November 1st to the 14th again. While we don't know who will host these majors, we do know the structure of the major will change. The current format takes place over 3 weeks, but starting in 2020, that will be reduced to 2 weeks. Players and orgs have criticized the current major format, so it looks like Valve is actually taking feedback to heart for once. While we wait to see who will host these majors, you can tune into the Star Ladder Berlin major this August to see the best CSGO teams compete in the biggest tournament of the year. According to an ESPN report, the Overwatch League has chosen Philadelphia to host the 2019 Overwatch League Finals. The Wells Fargo Center is the likely venue for the event, which is owned by Comcast Spectacor, who also owns the Philadelphia Fusion. The report states that running an event in an arena owned by one of the owners would greatly reduce costs and is one of the primary reasons why Philadelphia was chosen. Since the final regular season matches will be held at the end of August, it's likely that the finals will take place sometime in September. Last year, the OWL finals were held in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. The Fusion advanced all the way to the finals in the event, but lost to the champions London Spitfire 2-0. In a new report from US Gamer, multiple former contractors for NetherRealm Studios allege that the developer fosters a hostile workplace culture, particularly for contractors. Sources state that NetherRealm pays contractors, of which 75% are new graduates, $12 an hour, which is only that high because of a minimum wage hike in Illinois in 2018. One meeting after a leak allegedly saw contractors screamed at and treated like scapegoats. And like many other studios, sources say that crunch is common at NetherRealm, often lasting weeks at a time. The report follows a similar outcry on Twitter, where many former contractors described poor working conditions at the studio. Both NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brothers have not released statements on the allegations at this time.
Gaming draws first blood in this round. Identity shuts down Jerky, but there's an instant reaction from Rise as it stands a 3 versus 3. Avexes isn't done just yet, finds one more, looking for the double. He's done so well to stay alive. One more player down for Reg at least.
They're running all the way around here, and Rushy's decaps it. Doesn't allow him to get anything with it. A couple players are going to try and challenge here. You're going to have Identities in front. 3 seconds. He's got to push into this one, or else it's going to be game over. Another one's pushing up Dezo.
Oh no!
And Rushy's goes
Don't do it to him! Don't do it to him!
He's going to be able to stay alive!
Hello, welcome to Esports in 30, the show where we take a deep dive into a different game each day of the week. I'm Marissa, this right here is Zurich, and today, well, as per usual, we're talking first-person shooters. JK, today's third-person shooter, because we gotta talk about Gears of War, Zurich.
Yeah.
Gears of War.
Gears of War, Boston Open, the last event for this game before the new one releases.
I know, so exciting, but basically what we're saying is we love Gears, and Gears needs love too, and what better time to do it in the final Gears 4 esports tournament, the Boston Open. So let's check out these brutal highlights.
All the way around here, and Rushy's decaps it. Doesn't allow him to get anything with it. A couple players are going to try and challenge here. You're going to have Identities in front. 3 seconds. He's got to push into this one, or else it's going to be game over. Another one's pushing up Dezo.
Oh no!
And Rushy's goes
do it to him! Don't do it to him!
He's going to be able to stay alive!
Finds praise as well. Rezik pushing straight through. Summons in his sight. Can't let Summons clutch up. He's done phenomenal in the 1v2. Summons still alive. Rezik looking for 3. And Summons goes big for the green wall.
Probably hearing the call out from his team that we got the touch, They need the decap there, especially on Eve. Mortifies, he's gonna get taken down. Decap not able to come out. Lava taken out next, so Reciprocity completes the comeback.
Let's go Gaming. control first blood in this round. Identity shuts down Jerpy, but there's an instant reaction from Rise as it stands a 3 versus 3. Avexes isn't done just yet, finds one more, looking for the double. He's done so well to stay alive.
He's got to be careful and also needs to be careful for his face because Dezo has that sniper. That's nice. He's looking right at him.
The angle.
He's going to shoot him in the face.
There goes Icy. This looks like it could be it. There goes Sleepy. 3 dead for the side of Reciprocity. 4 dead. Drop shot down. Ghost Gaming.
Also kept B. He'll take out Toydez and open up the door.
Oh, what an amazing shot.
He's going to play the lane, use the torque bow, force this guy back, tags him. That's going to be another one. Speedy is ripping everyone to shreds this game. But a player does go in, doesn't need the torque bow.
Doesn't need anything.
That's number 2.
On the trip cap, someone's going to have to make a play down low at B. Will he touch the hill in time?
Yeah. Oh! A big play required for Fable. They're pushing in. They get some damage. Still back and forth. Here comes Fable. GuyBlaze with the double. Looking for another kill. Let's get him on the board a 3rd time.
GuyBlaze making the God play. Right back in this game.
Oh, look at it.
Not that way.
Now your power weapon's done. Right back in this game, people. Simplicity. Oh!
I want to see them push the home hill.
Going for it.
4 players. Monkeys is drawing some attention. But Mental got the double. He says, nah, not this home hill.
Don't do it to him.
Let me get the triple.
Billy with
Back
the first
up.
defensive kill. E has been touched. F is over there, but the 2 kills come through. That should surely be that.
They do it, boys.
They won in Columbus 3 times, Mexico City twice, London, Atlantic City, Paris, Las Vegas, Dallas, New Orleans, San Diego, and now Boston. The legacy is cemented. Optic Gaming, the most dominant team to ever play in console esports history.
No surprise, the Optic Gaming lived that trophy high, but this one felt that little bit extra special, right? As the final chapter of Gears of War history finally comes to a close. But to tell us why this tournament was so cool and a whole lot more, let's welcome caster, analyst, and all-around awesome guy, Blaze Spencer.
Yo, happy to be back once again. Appreciate you guys having me. Boston was a wild event.
Oh my gosh, I mean, we were so delighted to watch you there. We just love watching you do what you do, for sure, in all of this. And you're such a staple in the Gears community. Those boys love you, the casters love you. You seem to have a really tight community there too. But obviously you've watched Optic Gaming win time after time after time. There's already been a lot said about the greatness of Optic Gaming. So now for Gears 4 coming to a close, do you think that they can take this stock now, their dynasty, and actually implement it with Gears 5?
You know what? Optic Gaming is definitely solidified as a dynasty, but not just in Gears esports. You know, we had a lot of conversation on the desk about it all weekend long, and I would say a dynasty in esports overall. You got to think about the consistency of what they did, you know, winning 13 out of 15 majors, and that's not even counting the regional events. I've never seen a Gears of War team do it on that scale in any other previous Gears game. And then you can take a look at past console esports history and ask yourself, well, what team had a dynasty like that? And that was Final Boss, but considering they had a tournament about every 2 weeks back in 05, I believe, when they actually went on that run. This Optic Gaming team doing what they did in 2019 kind of solidifies them as one of the best esports teams in history, if you ask me about that. The real question is if they can kind of take that same energy going over to Gears 5. Hopefully by it being a new game, some of our players would have a little extra, you know, energy behind them to probably come out and beat those boys.
Going off on that best esports team in history, potentially, how difficult it is to add context to various dynasties across different console esports when their popularity and relative competitiveness within the scenes are so diverse.
Yeah, you know, it is a little bit different, but you know, as an esports player, as a former player myself, it's something that goes into that. And to have that type of consistency and to have that grit and to go out there and create systems for your team to practice with, because, you know, it's no perfect formula elsewhere. You can kind of look towards traditional sports, but to be able to do all of that and win under those spotlights is so difficult. And you think about the other esports that's out there, you know, when it comes down to Call of Duty, Halo, Gears. And for me, it comes down to professionalism, consistency, and talent.
I mean, I love that you are keeping it consistent with the console esports, and you're making sure to just recognize that this is like the dynasty in console esports, because absolutely it is. But we need to talk about the #1 man on that team, Explosive.
And not just console. I'm going to say PC as well.
Wow.
You know, like all of esports. You know, you may have some Counter-Strike teams that was super consistent, but and had a lot of tournament wins, but more so online rather than outside of big majors. But, you know, if Optic had tournaments every single week, and it was tournaments like that in Gears, they'll probably win those as well, you know? It's something to just be said about that core.
Okay, that's fair. I just don't want, you know, PC fans to start salting.
I'll take them. Y'all can tweet me. We'll go at it back and forth, okay? I ain't scared of y'all.
At me.
I mean, we need to talk about Explosive because I feel he's not scared of anyone either. He was named the MVP of Season 2, and he's still only 20 years old. Talk to us about the mystique Explosive has already built up to and what makes this guy such a special player in this game.
Well, you know what? It's very hard to find a good IGL. And what I mean by IGL, I mean in-game leader. And Explosive does it so well. He's had his core with him of Summons and Mental. Then they've had 5 other players to play with them throughout Gears of War 4. They had Lava, Kenny, Icy, Praised, and Solars. So a combination of those 5 with the core 3. But regardless of that, the one thing about them and why they was able to stay consistency even after switching the player out every time that they lost is because, you know, when you know that you have him leading the troops, you know, you can't help but to stay confident, but to stay in a positive environment. Explosive, when he thinks about the map, he has about 360-degree vision, exactly where everything is. And then when he speaks this plan that needs to work in a certain time frame, but most importantly, his teammates trust what he's saying. And as soon as he says something, they're listening, which is super important in esports. They're listening to those call outs and they're going out and they're executing. When you win that much and when you're that confident, that energy spreads amongst your teammates and it becomes contagious. And next thing you know, the whole team is out here looking like all-stars.
Now we have to talk about kind of the cons of winning so much.
Sure.
How they are undoubtedly one of the best teams of all time. We wanted to touch, on the flip side of this dynasty, a certain sense of kind of fatigue from both the players, the commentators, and even the audience, right? How does having one team be so dominant for so long call the way for everyone's approach every single tournament, and how do you ensure that fans are still interested within the storylines when the winner is almost predetermined every single tournament?
Well, so you know what? It's two sides to this coin, and I'll touch bases first on the team side of it all, because this is also one of the reasons why what makes them so great, because you can win so much and then get really complacent. It's like, oh, nobody can beat us. We can take our foot off the gas, go out, have a good time, go party, go drink, do all of that. But at the same time, those Optic Gaming boys, they stayed in their flow. They didn't let the fame really get to them. You know, they live good lives, but at the same time, they got the practice in as well, and they realized what got them to that type of dominance and to not forget the basics on that end. But then on the flip side of the coin, you got the fans who constantly watch it. Now, if you're a Green Wall fan, then it's like everything's good. You know, after gaming's winning, everything is great. But the rest of the world is just like, oh my God, can somebody beat them? But the thing is that when one team looks good, when one team comes out like they're about to do it, you know, the people who enjoy the underdog, which is a lot of fans out there, I'm one of them who enjoy a good underdog story, they like to get behind those guys and then try to support them on that climb. So we always love those moments when we see it. You know, sometimes it can get a little blah. You know, but hey, it is what it is, and you know, you gotta appreciate watching greatness.
Do you not get frustrated as a commentator just watching and then seeing other teams step to the plate and try to take out Optic? Do you not get frustrated thinking like, hey guys, you could have watched the match before, like you could have listened, because they do show them talking to each other as well. You get a little bit of in-game comms too. Like, can they not take some of that and maybe apply it to their game moving forward?
You know, I get frustrated as an old player, as a commentator across the board, because, you know, I watch so much of the game, but I watch it from a different perspective as well. That's why I say all teams need to make sure they go back and kind of watch those VODs and watch what's happening from that sense. But to beat those guys, it's so difficult, and it's so difficult to kind of get in there and get them. But one of these teams are going to be able to come out there and do it. The question is just when, you know?
And who?
The question, it takes one team to have a lot of heart to go out there and say, hey, you know what? I want to go out here. I want to practice. I want to get really nerdy at home. I want to write everything down. I want to take notes. The entire team needs to be inspired to beat those guys. But this is also something that even goes deeper not into now, because you got to think about when esports started about 10 years ago, we were all kids playing, right? We were all kids. Some of us never played traditional sports before. Some of us coming from different backgrounds. So in order for, you know, a group of kids to you know, one of them to become a leader and to lead the troops, and the other ones to become good soldiers and to practice that game without having no type of you know, elderly figure in that sense to teach them all, you know, to teach them all that. And I believe that we're coming to that age in esports where the players are really starting to take it more serious than what they used to. Understanding that these opportunities are once in a lifetime, and they're becoming to be more serious about it and develop better habits. So hopefully in the future, we will see more consistency out of everybody from practicing, from having perfect practice.
Right, yeah, I mean, we'd love to see that too, obviously. I do want to move on, though, from Optic, because I want to talk about a team that they did face in the final, Ghost Gaming. Ghost Gaming just seems to have this amazing rally behind them, because, like, they could be the team possibly, but also, like, their dominance and their popularity in Mexico and just the LATAM region in general is pretty amazing. But I want to talk about Identives, because he just seems to be, like, the face of the team, but also somebody who is up and coming, and I want you to walk us through that journey for him in Gears 4 and maybe see if this transition could happen for him in that country, but also in Gears 5.
Oh man, you know, Identis is a player who started off with Splice in Season 1. You know, I didn't know much about him at the time. I knew that he played he had a big name online in that community. Throughout the years, Gears of War has had a big community in North America and Latin America. And, you know, this is something that's been going on since Gears 1, and also a big community in EU. But, you know, until Gears 4 came out, we didn't realize how big our Latin American community was until we went to that first Mexico City event. And those fans turned up. And it was something I've been waiting to see for so long in Gears of War. I didn't know I was going to be able to find that in Mexico. But then that entire fan base, that same fan base supports him the same way. When he played with Spice the entirety of Season 1, tried to win a chip. Their highest placing was second in the Paris finals, in which they went against Optic Gaming, and they had 2 close maps but couldn't reset the series. But he said, you know what, I'm gonna leave because I need to go to North America. I need to find a squad. I need to learn. I need to figure out what these guys are doing so good that our Latin American teams can't really beat them, or really the EU team. So he went and joined up with Ghost Gaming's North American roster at that time with Sleepy, Rushy, Speedy, and Ribs, and Ribs. And so he got with those guys, and they won an event. He went to North America, won an event, and right after he went back home. That story sounds. There's only one other, you know, sports player that I know who has done something like that, and that's LeBron. All right, LeBron went to Miami. All right, he says, you know what, I need to get this trophy. Got the trophy, went back home to Cleveland and got one for them as well. Identis went back to LATAM, took Ghost with him, made a superstar roster. We watched them get third in Mexico City. The crowd was behind them. We watched them just get second in Boston. And I'm curious to see. I know that team's going to keep going on the up and up, and I'm actually excited to see what they're going to do in Gears 5, because that region is going to continue to grow, and they're like the Beatles down there.
I love that.
Yeah, in a similar vein, I wanted to touch on Elevate and their role in ensuring Europe not only has a representative, but one that can regularly challenge some of the best teams in North America. So with that being said, what makes Elevate such an important team in the context of, again, spreading the Gears scene, esports scene internationally?
Well, you know, they play such a huge role, because when it has came down to international representation for Gears of War, Europe has always been the #1 region, dating back to Gears 1 with Dignitas coming over, Perico, back in Gears 2 as well. So they've always came across the pond to play in our events, and they've been super talented. We've had them surprise North American teams, get top 3 always representing that region. And so Gears has a big scene there, but it just takes that Elevate roster to come out and finally get that get those guys a championship, because they're well deserving of it. Now the Elevate roster as a unit, very slow, methodical team. And we've watched them get better as the season goes on, and they've kind of adopted more of the North American play styles and learned to go blow for teams such as Optic Gaming and Reciprocity. So they got what it takes in the future, just a little bit more growth. And, you know, it comes back down to saying that these teams are getting into the point of saying, hey, you know what, we need to, you know, have great practice. We need to take this super serious. We need to treat this as if it's a job, because it's a lot of money to win out there. Optic Gaming won over $1 million within 2 seasons.
Yeah.
The 5 of them. So it's money to be that's out there. You just got to take it serious.
Take it serious, practice, get good, win that
Trust
dough.
your teammates. Be a good friend.
Yeah.
Be a good brother.
Be a good friend. Be a good person. Why not just add that into the battle too? We have to talk about Reciprocity, because obviously they are formed, like that team itself is formed from former players of Echo Fox and Ghost Gaming. One of the players that was getting a lot of talk around him was Franchise and his new team of Reciprocity. So over and over again in Season 2, he faced Optic and was never able to get that win. And again in Boston, he didn't get it either. Can you explain? I know. Can you explain to us Franchise's long road as a player throughout Gears 4 and his still unfulfilled quest to take down that green wall?
Well, you know, when it comes down to Fran, I've been with him on his esports journey. We started at the same time, 2006, back in Gears 1. You know, went into our first MLG event in Meadowlands, and you know, from then he has stayed in the game, and he has stayed a top competitor since then. Our longest standing competitor. He's been to more events out of anybody. He's seen so many different versions of Gears of War, so many different play styles. He played against the best in every game. So seeing his Optic Gaming team, he knows what it takes to beat somebody like that. And that's why some of these younger players get behind him. That's why he's constantly stayed at the top, because he has knowledge that not everyone has. But he just could not. He got it done once, and he was the first to get it done in Gears 4. Let's not forget it. Team Envious, Mexico City, the 3rd event of the season. Optic Gaming lost. They lost the 3rd event of Season 2 as well. But, you know, that's just stats. But anywho, that regardless of the fact is that Franchise knows what it takes. He has the grit, and he has kept up with the test of time as well. His, you know, it's been. I'll tell you one thing. As an old school player, he inspires me, because I'm up here like, you know, maybe one day I should come back to playing again. You know, if Fran's still doing it, maybe I can do it as well. But, you know, one day I think he'll get it. Gears 5, you know, having a new roster, he can probably get a new set of boys around him. The entire community is motivated with a new game coming out. You know, it's been almost 3 years since we had a new title, and that's very rare when it comes down to esports.
Yo, Guy, now you have to come back. Now he has to come back. Let's see you play.
Oh man, I think about it every time when I'm watching teams play. I'm like, you know what? If I was on that team in his spot, oh man, I'd come out. I definitely get top 8, get top 4. You know, actually, you know, I'm the type of person, I just find a group full of young guns, young players who are super talented, and just go through a boot camp and document the whole thing until we win a championship. That's the type of route that I like. I like working for it.
You cannot tease us with that, please, and then
I'd
not do
that.
it.
I'd watch that. That would be quality content.
Right. I don't know if my bosses will let me go, though.
All right.
Talk to them.
All right, we got to move on. Now, one of the big storylines that you guys on the desk touched on was the wealth of young talent we saw take the stage in Boston. You guys mentioned it seemed like the next generation is primed to explode in Gears 5. Names like Toddy on Fable, Powers on Rise, Noe on Hive, Sneak on Mazer. How bright does the future of Gears esports look with players like these, and are others ready to step up and lead the charge?
You know what? It looks super bright. You know, I think, you know, I had to think back post Boston at every time a Gears of War title ended and that next generation who entered, because all those players who you just named, you know, was not really here at the end of Gears UE or, you know, Gears 3. At least I didn't know about them in the competitive scene. And now they're blossoming on our circuit, and there's more players out there as well. It just takes for them to say, hey, you know what, have the confidence to enter a new community and to enter a new esport and say, as you know what, I want to just engulf myself in this, learn the game, and go out there and be the best. You know, so it's awesome to see them. I do believe that we have more players who are on the upcoming, and we'll find new players in Gears 5. You know, even on the flip end as a caster, that's why I just try to, you know, give out all the knowledge that I can, you know, get super nerdy with it, and just almost just be, you know, somebody for the younger generation to kind of look up to and say, hey, you know, you can grind out and even get into a position like this, or you can kind of stay in esports as long as you can. You know, but it's more talent coming out. These guys got what it takes. And, you know, I'm excited. You know, Gears 5 is going to be something special.
Absolutely.
It's going to be lit.
Yeah, we're excited about it too, for sure. We kind of need to close the book on Gears 4, though, because we've been talking about this a lot throughout our chat here today. But this was the last Gears 4 tournament. So, number one, that's kind of bittersweet, right? You're doing your last tournament. It just kind of, like, you get all the feels from it. The critics of Gears 4 were into play, of course. A lot of players said they were not sad to see it go, often calling it too inconsistent from a gameplay perspective. So what do you think will be the legacy of Gears 4?
The legacy of Gears 4 will be our circuit. You know, it's the $1 million circuit. It's Optic Gaming's dynasty. It's 5v5 teamwork. It's the start of a new beginning. And I think everything that we wanted, you know, Gears 4, you know, it reached new heights. And Gears 5, it's going to reach newer heights. And it's going to be something special. You know, it's going to be a next step up. And so Gears 4, it was great, but it was the beginning of something new.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, we just wanted to close out here looking ahead to the future. Of course, Gears 5 is coming eventually. So what is your hope for this next title and what it can bring to the scene?
You know what? My hope for this next title, especially with us having E-League, us being on E-League on TBS, is that we have new fans that come through and say, you know what? I really like this community. I really like how raw and genuine they are, how friendly they are, the action, the trash talk, the excitement. We got a little bit of everything for everybody. And, you know, I just hope that new people come over and, you know, they give us a try. You know, I promise you, we don't bite. Just come out to an event. I guarantee you will have a good time. The esports growing. You know, we're 12 years in, and I don't think, you know, we're going to slow down anytime soon, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And the trash talking is really only getting better. Cannot wait to see more of that. Blaze, thank you so much for helping us close out Gears 4 and an amazing Boston Open tournament. We wish you all the best in the future, and we really do hope you stop by.
Say that again?
We want you to stop by again soon.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You already know how to get me. I'm here for you guys.
DMs, baby, I got you. That's the thing about esports, though. I know you know this, Zurich, but if you're just getting into esports, it's very important to keep your DMs open on Twitter. A lot of business is done there, like less emails, more DMs on Twitter constantly. So that's just how you keep it professional.
Okay? The official esports email is your Twitter.
The official, unofficial. We do need to wrap up our Gears talk here just a little bit because we didn't get a chance to talk about it with Guy. But there's obviously a lot of trash talking in Gears. That's what makes it so much better and so entertaining to watch, in addition to watching the actual gameplay. So there have been more rules put in place, though, inside the actual tournament play, because if there's any kind of derogatory talk, anything defamatory, I think, as well, they seem to really be on top of it and shutting it down. I know a member of REC had to be timed out as well. Like they have for 4 rounds. Like and that's a serious penalty just if you say anything that might be a little untoward.
Yeah, so it's like you need 7 rounds to win a game. So 4 rounds is more than half of the amount where you're pretty much playing a power play because there's only 4 of you. But at the same time, I think it is a very good step forward towards the right direction because this is the time where esports is becoming more professional. And as much as we want to keep it, you know, like as Gears of War as possible with their, you know, like however they were before. When we move forward, when the big money people come in, it's very hard to sell that style.
It's so true.
Yeah, and FGC has the exact same issue, kind of, where it's like they want to be professional, but at the same time they want to maintain their identity as that scene, right? But it's going to be tough to find a balance. But I think, I mean, this weekend there wasn't as many bans, which means that it is kind of working, and the harsh punishment is definitely like something that the players are scared about.
They're just good lessons to learn, just as gamers, especially when you're online as well. Like, just don't use words that you shouldn't use. Don't be racist. Don't be ignorant. Just like try to keep it as PG-13 as possible, and you
just
can
talk
still
about
trash
the game.
talk that way.
Yeah, talk about their gameplay. If they, if you outplayed them 2v1 them, or they choke, just tell them they couldn't breathe. Be like, you couldn't breathe that duel.
I mean, that I still love, like, my all-time favorite clip still is that Northern Arena tournament with Explosive, just like, put 2K on it, put your baby count on it. I love that kind of stuff because it hurts, it gets you, it stings just a little bit, and you can tell it affects them moving forward in-game, which is the purpose of trash talking. But you did mention big money plays earlier, and we should talk about the biggest money play that just came into the first-person shooter world, which is this whole COD franchising thing that's going on. The first 5 cities have been announced. We talked about it a little bit on Unmuted, but I want to get your take on it.
It's gonna be, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh.
It's a very weird situation for us because we don't know that much information yet. So all we know is that the slots are potentially $25 each.
25
million. Sorry, not
Can you imagine?
$25.
Yeah, that's a steal of a deal.
Yeah. No, but super expensive for something that for us we don't even have any information about.
Well,
so we'll see where it moves forward. So maybe they're just gonna keep throwing money at it again, and then be like, you will see where this goes. Here's a lot of money. But I mean, it's good. It's good for esports. It's good for the entire, again, professionalism and making it seem like there is truly, money to be made.
It's true, and it's nice to just see other esports shine on the biggest stage, and they need these cities to be attached to them. In my opinion, I think this is massive for just the scene in general. I'm so excited for the COD community and what this means for them, especially because it's all about the money, baby. You know this. Add that to the bingo card. I think I've already said it like 3 times today. But we need to talk about IEM Sydney just quickly before we go, because obviously CSGO tournament's going down. You made a prediction last week that FaZe, with AJ, that FaZe would make it all the way to the end. What happened?
Well, they had a stand-in. Nico couldn't play because of visa issues, I think. So then, when there's a sub, the entire unit isn't cohesive, and things happen, bad things happen. Usually, they got eliminated by Greyhound, I think, which is an Australian team. So it is on their home turf. So hopefully, the fans liked watching FaZe lose to one of their home teams.
Oh, okay.
There's a good side to it.
Oh, great. I love that you looked on the bright side of things. Yeah. But I'm hoping that you did not put any money down. No betting.
No betting here. I can't afford it.
Oh, rip. Okay. I won't salt on you anymore.
It's okay.
But lunch is on me, friend. All right, well, that was a little teaser. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to join us next Friday because we got more of this. We got IEM that we're discussing full on next Friday. We want to thank Blaze. We'll be back on Monday with an all-new show about League of Legends, MSI, and so much more. Till then, press our social buttons and squad state. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you around.
Every time we talk to the Gears community, I'm reminded on how good they are at trash talking. So that just makes me feel like I need to up my level. I'm gonna be working on that all weekend. Remember, we're back here on Monday starting at 1 p.m. Eastern with gameplay live from the green room. Then again at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have more Unmuted, and in Esports in 30, they're talking League. Till then, you can tune into all of our socials at Squad State and our YouTube channel for the VODs in case you missed anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you soon.